Welcome to the Positive Engagement and Economic Power of Kindness, aka Pepok Pep Talk, sharing insights, wisdom, and tips from leaders around the world to enhance your personal and professional lives. I am your host, Randy McNeely, the kindness giver and Chief Kindness Officer for the Pepok Institute. I invite you to get a pen and paper for notes and be ready to learn. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Because I just want the book to have
These
a
6 pillars could be used by the men and women, right?
yes, exactly, because this is based on, this book is based on research and techniques from positive psychology and psychotherapy. Is very similar to some of the things that I'm going to be teaching in HeARTion. So it's not really about it's a gender neutral book. I'm just calling it the She Pathway so that there is a very specific target audience, just because that's one of my favorite things in the world, empowering women. But hey, man, I'm here for you too. So the She Pathway.
We men, men and women, we can all use empowerment tools.
Yes, exactly. So
We can learn, great things. And even if the book is, quote, for women, I'm not above reading those kind of books because I can learn something all the time. And you've
yes,
got a lot of great wisdom and wonderful nuggets to share. So
beautiful. Yes, indeed, Randy, you're right. So it's really just like from zero to Shakti. I thought that it was just meant for women readers, but then the book taught me no, men read it and the man gets inspired by it. Then I realized it's really about the human condition rather than about gender. So likewise for the She Pathway book, the 6 pillars, which I'm going to share briefly. The first pillar is surrender. We need to be aware of the limiting stories that we are holding on to, that we're acting out in real life, just like what I did in From Zero to Shakti. I had this limiting story, I'm unlovable and unworthy, right? And how it manifested in my life. So you need to first be aware of those limiting stories. You cannot surrender something that you are not aware of. So the first pillar is in some ways so important. It really begin your journey, the surrender piece. Being aware of your limiting stories so that you can surrender it. And then when you do that, you can stop the internal war within yourself and perhaps with the world as well. And then you can begin your first step into your inner peace journey. After you have surrendered, so it's like the phoenix, you need to die in order for rebirth to be possible. There's no other way. So now that you have died your old self with your limiting story, you're ready for the second pillar of She Pathway, which is the second S, strength. Right? So a phoenix died, now rebirth is possible. When you surrender your limiting stories, you allow your old limiting ways to die. Then now your new life can begin. So the second pillar is exciting. It's about rebirth. How do you build your strongest and kindest self? What are your character strengths? Discovering what is the best aspects of yourself. How do you expand your external sources of support as well, because that's also part of building strengths, raising yourself up. So you now can wire in strengths-based identity about yourself, wire in more empowering beliefs about yourself, and by doing that, you automatically will feel more energized, and you will really feel more inspired to support the outer peace that the world needs. And because you first started working on your own inner peace with the first 2 pillars. Then comes the third pillar. So it's actually using the acronym SHE. So there's 2S, 2H, and 2E. So in the third pillar, we move on to the alphabet H. And now we're talking about help. Help is a huge piece. For women have this thing about asking for help. They will do anything and whatever it takes. They will struggle and they will still not ask for help. So women have this thing about, no, I can do this. I need to be perceived a certain way. I need to be a good mom and but then having said that, I also had strengths forum with men about the character strengths of compassion, and it seems like men really also struggle with self-compassion. So I'm just saying this piece about asking for help, I think it applies to men as well. Men also, have certain expectations about themselves. They refuse to ask for help when actually what you need best right now is external support. So the third pillar, I think, is important in that sense. We need to understand the sustainable and wise way to build on your strength. It's not only to tap on your own internal resources, but also to tap on the superpowers around you, because these are also part of your resource. And to understand that to ask for help is not a sign of weakness. So this is so important, I have to stress. To ask for help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it is a courageous act. In fact, it is an act of self-love. It is an act of self-compassion, kindness to yourself, and you're also giving other people an opportunity to support you, and that makes them feel good. It also generates positive emotions in other people. In fact, one of the defining factor why the human race have survived so long is because we are phenomenal collaborators. We understand
Yeah.
the power of togetherness.
We have a great understanding of the fact that what you give out comes back. You know,
Yes.
kindness is like a boomerang. You know, you give it away and it comes back to you. You do good things for other people, you treat them right, and that all comes back to you. And so, yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you're speaking my
Yes.
language there.
Yes, that's why we're together now. Yes, so it's just like the circle of breath that I invited you to start with the HeARTion pulse. That is the circle of life. Mother Nature never rushes, but Mother Nature does everything so beautifully, right? And Mother Nature know what are her strength and understand that there's a time and place for everything. It's seasonal living, knowing that there's a time, some things it's time to die so that rebirth is possible. Same thing like different aspects of our life. So when we need help, then ask for it. It's okay. Give people a chance to support you, to feel good about themselves. And when we help one another, there's bonding. There's so many benefits that can derive when you dare to ask for help. And so this is where we also end up having more positive emotion individually, collectively, and we build high quality connections when you activate the third pillar of She pathway, which is help. The fourth pillar is the second H. Now that you are willing to ask for help, this pillar becomes very real, hope, right? And then when you have hope comes optimism, faith, desire, action, momentum, belief, consistency. Without hope, nothing happens. So there's a pioneering positive psychology researcher who is famous for his hope theory, Dr. Rick Snyder. I love his definition of hope. He calls it the rainbow of the mind. Like, isn't that like so visually arresting? So hope is that rainbow of the mind that you can build for yourself. So hope is a very essential component in the pursuit for change. If we have no hope, there's no way we'll be motivated to take any action as well. So if we desire to have a peaceful world, then we must be the change that we want in the world, right?